We've been up through the Mallee, the Wimmera. We did the Silo Art Trail. We went up to Mildura. We showcased along the Murray River. We've been up to Bright in the Alpine countries, and everywhere we've been has just been phenomenal. It's such a beautiful state, and we really, really want to get out there and promote it. And we really, really want to help regional Victoria get back on their feet because they're really going to need it
now. All right. Well, here we are. Welcome, everyone. We are missing our guest right now. He did say he would be in here in just a second. And Dave seems to be having a little bit of trouble getting in, but we're here. We got Rob and we've got Wayne and Jarvis Biker. And Jarvis Biker, tell us where you are right now.
We are live from Memphis, Tennessee.
Live from Memphis, Tennessee. And so
just got off the bike. We just got in the door. I got sunburn on my face. I'm a happy boy.
I bet you are. I bet you are. So
Kevin, just before we start, if you haven't already, you should maybe try to put the link into the side chat for.
I did.
Yeah. Okay. Because I'm not seeing it.
It's at the very top.
Okay, there it is.
Right there. I've got the link in there. I could put it in again. So
or just pin it.
It's what?
Or you can just pin it.
Yeah.
It'll be all right. So.
Okay. How do you? I don't know how to do that. Anyway, it's okay.
So you want to talk to me for a couple of minutes about what I've been doing? Is that?
Yes, I want to talk to you about what you've been doing.
We'll waste a little bit of time on my stuff, waiting for hopefully our guest and for Dave to show up.
Yeah. Link's not working. Okay.
Take it out of the side chat. So anyway. Linda and I are here in Memphis. This is the inside living area of our toy hauler. The Harley is sitting directly that way from me. We're in a little suburb of Memphis called Germantown. There's a farmer's market right across the driveway from where we are now. It's like an ag center kind of thing, and they have a huge RV camp. So we are situated there. I am about 5 minutes from Memphis Mike's house.
Yeah.
I have his. There they are.
Hello.
There you go.
Hi, welcome.
Thank you.
So how are things down under? We were just talking to Wayne. Wayne is on a trip right now, and he's down in Memphis, Tennessee. And we've got Rob Deadnot. He is out in Nova Scotia, Canada, and I'm in Ontario. And where are you from, the Harley Roadshow?
We're in Melbourne, Australia. Not Melbourne.
Melbourne,
Australia.
So we have a little bit of a time difference here.
Just a fraction. It's 11 a.m. Tuesday morning.
Yeah. So it's 8 o'clock in the evening here, and it is on Wednesday or Tuesday, and it is
today's Monday.
Monday. Right.
Yeah, but we're Tuesday.
You're Tuesday.
They're in Tuesday.
That's what I was getting at.
And I can never get anyone to send me winning lottery numbers.
I was going to say, we'll send you the lottery numbers.
You missed our opening. I should put it up again because I'd like you to see the little bit. I put a little video with some of your stuff on it, and maybe then you'll know what I'm talking about when we start going through our questions. Jump forward to here. Hold on. to here.
That's the pink lake.
We've gone all the way down to Warrnambool. We've been up through the Mallee, the Wimmera. We did the silo art trail. We went up to Mildura. We showcased along the Murray River. We've been up to Bright in the Alpine countries. And everywhere we've been has just been phenomenal. It's such a beautiful state. And we really, really want to get out there and promote it. And we really, really want to help regional Victoria get back on their feet because they're really going to need it
Oh,
Oh, yep.
there's one in every group, right?
Always one of those. Well, we're gonna get into that.
I told you I'm gonna take these.
in here. One of the videos that you did. So what we're gonna do, I actually what I'll do. Let's start off with the introductions first. I think we've already kind of done that, but I'm Kev, Superman Kev, 2001, and I'm, like I said, I'm in Ontario, and I ride a 2012 Electric Glide, and I like to do
Funny ice cream videos.
ice cream videos. So tell us about yourself, Paul and Aline.
About ourselves? Well, I tried. Basically, I'm a failed porn star actor, to be honest.
Oh, all right. Good for you.
Yeah, we heard that all the way up here.
No, so we started doing this about 2 years ago, I suppose. And the reason being, we went through a period, you probably would have seen on the news over there, where we had massive fires over here. And people were cancelling their holidays through regional Victoria. And we thought, geez, we've got to do something to try and promote regional Victoria and get people to understand that, just because there's a fire there, that it's still, you can still have a holiday, you can still get out in this great state. And we tried to get that to happen. And then what happened was, obviously, the COVID hit, and it made it even worse for them. So we've just tried to keep going ever since, and it's been really, really successful. We get a lot of people contacting us now saying that, I went to that place you recommended. We just had a crew come down from North Queensland. So North Queensland to here is about 30 hours ride.
Oh, wow.
So they came down for the Brighter Days Festival, again, on, because of what we sort of said. And they went to a couple of restaurants, and we went with them, took them along. So, and that's just, one example, but there's been a whole heap of examples, but that's what we do. We ride a 2010 Electric Glide Ultra Classic. Obviously, I've modified that a fair bit to suit us. I've, put an extended reach seat on. I've put 14-inch apes on it to make it more comfortable. Basically, the whole thing is set up for touring. We put on Legend Air suspension front and back, just to make it as comfortable as possible, because we do a lot of miles. Like, to give you an example, just last week, over a few days, we did about 3,000 Ks.
Wow, that's a lot. That is an
Yeah.
awful lot. And your season never really ends, does it?
No, it doesn't. So we're about to head off on a 6,000 kilometer trip in May. So May's just about the start of winter, but we're going to head north, and pretty much you're going to get 25 degrees Celsius every day of the week. So it just never really ends.
So I'm gonna jump up to Rob here. Rob is out in Nova Scotia on the east coast of Canada. He's right out of the ocean. Well, sort of.
I'm not far at all.
So tell us about yourself, Rob.
So I'm Rob. I also go by Dead Knot. I ride a 2014 Victory Cross Country. I like my orphan bikes, and I'm recently retired, and I was actually in Australia in 1995.
Oh, right.
I was there in like June, July, and everyone thought I was a crazy guy wearing a T-shirt, because Dots, it was nice and warm. But
What part
yeah,
of Australia, mate?
what's that?
What part of Australia?
So I was with the military. We flew our helicopter to Nowra, south of Sydney.
Yep.
Our ship, we were in Sydney. Then we were up top around Brisbane, up that area.
That's why you have a t-shirt on.
That's where the t-shirt.
Different way
um,
now.
The Great Barrier Reef, did a lot of flying over that.
Yep.
That was a lot of fun. And we did end up going south, but we didn't go into port visits or anything. We did some operations with the Australian Navy down on the southern side there. And
Rob,
yeah.
when you're flying out there like that, do you guys like fly low and drop a line in and do a little fishing while you're going?
Unofficially, I've only got one picture of me with a fishing rod.
I figured.
Helicopter.
I figured.
Yeah, it's too fast for trolling usually.
Just hook them.
Yeah, but I was that crazy Canadian who showed up and wanted to go snowboarding in any ski hill I could find. I was doing it in July. It was awesome.
Oh, we got a new one.
There's Dave.
Yeah, Dave made it.
Dave,
Hey, Dave.
Hi,
There you go, mate.
good evening or good morning. Which is it?
Good morning.
Morning. Yeah.
Morning for them, yeah.
Okay. Coffee's on or the teapot's on.
So, Dave, while I got you here, tell me who you are, what your channel is, what you do on your channel.
Okay. I'm Dave. My channel is Harley Diners Rides. And like the rest of you, or maybe not, but anyway, I'm retired and, needed something to do and keep busy. And so started a channel, Harley Diners Rides, and it's all about riding and meeting people and having fun. And like Wayne, I've got a toy hauler, so throw the bikes in the back and do a little traveling with that. My wife also rides, and I've got a 2007 Harley Davidson Street Glide. And just to apologize, I updated my software, and I thought everything was right until I tried to get into Yardstream or StreamYard. And so had to shut it down. I had to pull everything apart. I had to remove the camera, add the camera, restart. Anyway.
It's all right.
Well, we were right on time, so I don't know.
Well, I've been listening in the side chat, so I'm happy I was able to do that. So anyway, that's me.
Well, I just for giggles here, because we are all over the country and everywhere, I was wondering, my question is about gas prices.
Oh,
What are gas prices like in Australia right now?
$2.20 a
Well,
litre.
yeah, I paid $2.30 the other day a litre.
$2.30 a liter.
Well, it's similar to Canada.
Yeah, I just bought gas tonight, and I paid $1.65 a liter.
Premium or 87?
Just 87.
Now the Canadian dollar is a couple of cents more than the Aussie dollar, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think. Well, to give you an idea,
We're
about
70. We're like 72 or
weeks
3
ago, we were
cents
paying
US.
$1.50 a litre. So it's come up to $2.30.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
What about you, Rob? What's it like out east?
So diesel is just over $2 a liter.
Wow.
And the 87 octane is 180 something.
Wow.
Just under $2 for premium.
Wow, that's crazy, eh?
Mhm.
We're regulated pricing here, so there's no gas wars. The government sets the price on us.
So here in Memphis, they're going by a gallon per gallon, but I think it's $4.30, and it's $5.30 for diesel. It's a full buck more for diesel per gallon.
So a litre, you're paying about $1 a litre, so a bit over $1 a litre.
Yeah, it is. It's a little less for some reason.
Yeah.
But.
And then, but with the conversion, add 30% from Canadian to US.
Yeah.
And I just Googled the Canadian to US dollar. 1 Canadian dollar is worth $1.07 Australian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think the government's talking about taking off because we've got that many taxes on our fuel. It's ridiculous. We've got a GST tax, which is 10% on top of a fuel excise tax. So I think out of that, I think 45 cents is actually taxes.
Yeah.
It's the same sort of deal here.
We're about to get
Yeah,
another
so
11 cents on Friday.
25 cents a litre off to try and because I've got a landscaping business, right? I run about 35 vehicles on the road. So our fuel bill has gone from, say, 13 grand a month to about like 18 grand a month.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That is crazy. You did a bunch of challenges a little while ago. It was a 2 kilometer challenge. I think it was right when you guys were in lockdown.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
You were only allowed to go 2
5
kilometers.
We're allowed to go 5Ks from our front door. For 1
Okay.
hour a day.
You could only go 5Ks?
Yeah,
Well, at
5Ks.
one stage.
Yeah, one stage was 5Ks for 1 hour a day. One person from the house.
One person.
Yep.
And so you did a challenge that was a 2 kilometer challenge.
Yeah.
Did you get a lot of takers with that?
Yeah.
Mhm.
What happened was, it was funny because I kept watching these things come up on YouTube, and like people kept, it's like Chinese whispers. By the time it got to the last guy, it was completely different to what it started at.
Okay. But I thought that was such an ingenious idea, because and you said it best in your video when you talked about how we're always going somewhere else and we don't look at the 2 kilometers close, like right close to home, and there's a lot of stuff we don't even see because we go right by it every day.
Yeah.
Believe me, after that whole lockdown thing, we knew intimately every square kilometer of the 2 kilometers from our front door.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I just thought it was a cool thing. I wanted to talk a little bit about your drone use, and then I laughed because I happened to watch the one with the epic fail.
Yep.
And you do a lot of drone work. What drone do you use, and how do you I really marvel at how you managed to get that drone footage into so many of your videos. And tell me a bit about using the drone, and then what you use, and
Okay.
and the fail.
Yep. So I use the Mavic Air 2.
Okay.
Which is a great drone. I mean, it's got 30 minutes flight time per battery, which really is probably about 23, 24, to be honest. What happened with that drone fail was, I've had 2 in the last 2 weeks. The first one, which was in another video, I was actually filming over water. And all of a sudden, this thing popped up on my screen saying you're in a restricted area, and like literally, I was on the Murray River. There's nothing there, right? And you'll be forced to land right now. And I'm going, well, not now. I'm over the water, right? So anyway, it's going down at a rate of knots, and I'm trying to stop it, and I'm trying to push forward to at least get it to the bank, right? Anyway, I'm pushing, and it's getting closer, and it's literally a foot off the water, and I just made the bank. But where it was on a slope like that, actually. And at the time, I had a bad back. Anyway, I'm slipping and sliding down this slope trying to get to the drone. It was horrendous. That was the first one. The second one was just last weekend, where I was actually watching Elaine, because we were filming a whole that started that motorcycle parade from the Brighter Days Festival. And there's literally, I don't know, 500 bikes coming out of there. So I was watching Elaine film them, and I was droning at the same time. Anyway, then I'm sort of watching Elaine and not taking any notice of what the drone was doing. And I must have my finger still on the control button, right? Next thing I hear people going, "What's that in the tree?" And I've looked and I've gone, "That's my drone." And it's just going, like there was bits of tree flying everywhere. I'm thinking, "Oh my God, what have I done?" And my mate Phil, who was in the video, he goes, "That's your drone. That's your drone." He's run across, and literally, it trimmed the tree. Like there was bits of tree flying everywhere. landed on the ground, and I picked it up and the gimbal was going crazy, and I just turned it off on it and put it back on again, and all good to go. So luckily,
Well, I've made a video with my drone use. It's how to lose a drone in 30 seconds.
I watched that video.
And then I was talking to my wife today, and she said, "We're gonna get that thing out again this spring, but we're gonna go somewhere where you can actually fly it." We'll do part 2.
Well, I'll tell you a funny story. I bought a drone for my nephew, right? And I said to him, and Roy was about 9, okay? Not a flash one, but a decent drone, right? Anyway, his mum said, I'll help you fly it. So she's taken it and didn't read the instructions, just started it up and just pressed up and hadn't linked it to anything. So this thing went up and up and up and up and up and up.
And that was the end.
And that was the end of the drone. It just got into the into the jet stream and gone. And he just looked at his mum and said, "Thanks very much." It just end of his Christmas present.
I know Wayne, he does a little bit of drone work too.
I've had those issues too, though. I've had where it's decided that it's not going to go where I want it to, and we've had some tense moments at times. Usually over Lake Erie when it.
You guys use it, Dave or Rob? Do you use a drone?
No, the closest I have to a drone is throwing the camera up in the air.
I find that works.
I'm just too cheap.
Well,
I'm going to break it.
I know how to lose it. I was gonna ask you, Paul and Elaine, is what was the Brighter Days Festival? What is that all about?
Oh, it's just a festival where all motorbikes, doesn't matter whether it's Harley or Kawasaki or Suzuki, it's just a day for motorcycles. And it's just got live bands, and it's a suburb called Bright. So that's why they call it Brighter Days. And it's actually a fundraiser for sick kids.
Mm-hmm.
So we actually get there's about 30,000 people coming to the town on that weekend, and about 10,000 riders, I suppose. It's been going now for about, I think it's about 13 years now. It's been going. They've raised, I think, about $4 million for
kids with SIDS and
all that sort of stuff. So yeah, they've raised a whole ton of money. But on it, it goes for 3 days. The first day they have like like bands, everything playing on the Friday night.
poker run.
Yeah, the next morning there's a poker run, which is great. Which is where I crashed the drone. So that goes all around the area. Now that area there where we go, it's up in the Alpine area. So that's where you get all those, you get really nice views and all that sort of stuff. It's a beautiful part of it. It's actually similar to North America or Canada, and it was settled by a lot of European immigrants. So they planted all European trees up there. So you've got chestnuts and elm trees and all that sort of stuff up there. Which it all changes colour. You get those beautiful autumn colours up there as well. So it's a really, really pretty place. If you imagine, it's got all those beautiful, trout streams flowing through it everywhere. It's a very, very, it's a fantastic weekend. It's probably one of the best weekends of the year. Really, really good. You don't get any idiots up there. It's everybody's in it for the right reasons. It's really, really good.
Oh, good. The other thing we might as well talk about it because you just talked about your poker run. The
Yes.
poker run wipeout. What happened? How did this guy? What the heck did he do there?
So what happens with that? So those boys up there, they are loose.
They're a wild bunch.
They're a wild bunch, right? So that is that's the Riverina Redneck Rally poker run, and they're actually doing the rally at the moment. So they get a whole bunch of cars. You can look it up online, and they're all old cars that they modify. And put stickers on all that sort of stuff, and they go through the outback from outback town to outback town, and they raise money for kids with cancer in the bush. So
it's harder to get to hospitals and medical in the bush. So this is just to help them out,
Yeah,
and the families.
You help the families, accommodation, all that sort of stuff. So, so we went along to the poker run, which is another fundraiser. Now we went last year, and like I said, so this part of the country where they're from it's very close to you're getting close to the outback. So the boys up there are pretty loose, and and I'm talking loose like we were sitting on say 120 k's an hour, and there's guys coming past us in the dirt doing probably 140. Just fishtailing in the dirt, like just coming. It was nuts. Anyway, so we've been to a few places and there was burnouts and all sort of stuff. That guy who dropped the bike, he actually had just previously done that and wanted to go again. So he's gone, except it's grip this time. And he probably, if he had just kept the throttle on, he probably would have powered out of it. But he sort of backed off, and it just flipped you off. Bang! Snapped the handlebars, smashed the air filter off, damaged his ego. That was the main thing. Lost a bit of bark off his arms, but he was okay. Like probably the worst thing was his ego got a fair hit. That was all. But the best thing was I put that on TikTok and I've had 53,000 views on it. So that was the best part of that. So everybody, when it happened, said, "Did you get it on film? Did you get it on film?" So yes, we got it on film. They were wrapped that we actually got it on film.
I watched this one video of yours just a little while ago, and you'd put a new electric oil cooler on your Harley.
Yep.
And I'd never even heard tell of such a thing. I guess because you have such extreme heat. That's
Especially in the outback.
And I was really curious to ask is how well does that electric oil cooler work?
Fantastically well. So with us, like sometimes we're riding in. Do you guys work in Fahrenheit or Celsius over there?
Celsius.
Yeah,
Celsius.
we're in Celsius. But
okay, so we're riding about 43 degrees Celsius.
Wow.
So it gets very, very hot. And because my bike's been modified, I've got cams and stuff put in it. And so talking to Romy, who you would see who I do the videos with the bike builds, he said, look, whenever you're modifying bikes, because they run a lot hotter once they've been modified, because you're changing the air fuel mixture and all that sort of stuff as well. So they can literally cook themselves, especially if you get stuck in traffic. Like if you get stuck in traffic here and there's as an air cooled motor, there's no breeze flowing over the motor. You can literally, what happens is the oil thins out and starts to break down, and that's when you have engine problems. So we just done a couple of builds where we put a stage 6 motor in a build. The guys spend a lot of money on that motorcycle, and as part of that was the oil cooler, and he suggested that I put it in mine because of the amount of miles we do and the extreme temperatures we go in, and it works fantastically. Like we had quite warm weather up in Bright the other week, and again, when you're doing those parade things where there's a couple of hundred bikes and you get chugging along at 10 kilometers an hour, the engine gets really hot, and you can hear the thermo fan kick in. It's straight away. It cools the engine down, and you don't get that heat off the engine either because it's constantly cooling it down.
Oh, that's good. That's good. The one thing I want to make sure I say before I get finished is, Elaine, every time you always wave. I wave, and I know I'm watching a Harley Roadshow video when he does a shot of himself and then you wave, and that's awesome. I love that. and we all have something that we do with our channel, and I just wanted to
Elaine's got her own fan club over here. It's whenever we have live prems or anything like that, where's Elaine? And then she'll wander, swan away into the.
I didn't want nothing to do with this. This was his thing to begin with, and I was quite happy just to sort of hide behind him on the back of the bike. But
I think that's the position of all wives of YouTube.
I think so.
and then what's happened is, like, as she's gone, become more and more involved, and like Elaine's fairly robust on the tooth, we might say. Like she loves a good feed in a bakery. So we do all these, these visiting bakery videos, and so now we're saying, oh, when's the next bakery video coming out? When's it's like, it was actually funny on that Brighter Days Festival. We probably had, I don't know, it was probably 30 or 40 people come up to us and say, we watched the channel and all that sort of stuff. And it was actually funny because they were coming, they're saying, and Elaine saying, yeah, hi, I'm Elaine. They go, yeah, we know you, Elaine. And she's going, what? Yeah, it's hard to get your head around that when people are coming up to you that watch the channel and know who you are.
Yeah, I've had it happen a couple of times, but I'm not as big as you.
We're small fish, trust me.
Yeah, but we still try, right? We still try. When you're talking about your destinations and stuff, and you've been talking about going to the bakeries. So, what is the best destination or ride that you've done this year? And I'll go around for the whole panel. I'll start with you, and then I'll go around for the whole panel.
Look, so far this year, I would say Bright and the Brighter Days Festival, because it's just such a great weekend. It's hard to beat that. And the best bakery we've been to would be the Country Cob in Kyneton, which was just sensational food there. My God, it was nice.
Yeah, I like some of the places you've gone to visit. They look like you've gone to some pretty cool restaurants.
Yeah, there's some rippers, some
And
really good ones.
And that's. How about you, Wayne? In your last year, because we're not going to say now this year, but like last year, where? Well, I guess now you're doing it. Best destination or ride you've done this year? I guess it's right now.
We're living it as we speak. This is the start of the bucket list tours of something that I've wanted to do for years. And back when I first owned motorcycles when I was younger, I always wanted to tour around. So yeah.
Very
just getting down here and seeing these roads that I've never seen before, and we just took a random drive today, just out, zipped down the interstate down into Mississippi.
Yep.
Hung a left, and we were on this road coming back into Tennessee that was just, I've never been on one like that before. It was awesome. It was just miles and miles and miles of turns and dips and hills. And
yeah.
I don't want to make you feel bad, Wayne, and I don't want to hurt your feelings, but I did use the snowblower this morning.
I feel for you. Yeah, I guess
that's one thing I've never used.
You guys had like record cold. Now we had cold. Like the 3 days it took us to get here, I had the furnace on all 3 nights so far. We won't tonight. It's warm enough now that we won't turn it on tonight, but
it was minus 12.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, my brother had said that it was going down pretty cold. So this is it, but we've got other trips. We got other trips planned. There's another one coming to the Ozarks, so in the Arkansas area and down through there with the riding group. That's coming up in June. So
that'll be great.
My friend, actually, one of the guy that I'm going to be riding down with, because we've broken up into smaller groups to get here. Mm-hmm. And he called me up yesterday on our drive and said, do you mind if we go to the baseball slugger, Louisville Slugger Museum? And I said, yeah, man, whatever you want to do. So I guess we're making a stop there on the way through. So
that'll be cool.
Yeah, he said taking 2-3 extra days. We're going to start out a little early from the rest of them and find our way down here. So,
well, I'm very envious of you being in the sun and me being in snow.
Yeah, you can see I got a little tan going already.
How about you, Rob? Where did you where was your best destination this last summer?
Well, last summer we were still stuck in our COVID bubble here. So actually the best one I had last year was the Fundy Trail Parkway. It's a new stretch of highway on the north side of the Bay of Fundy, which has the world's highest tides on the east coast of Canada. And they carved a new road along the cliffs lots of switchbacks, steep hills, tons of corners, and it's a new part of the park. So you pay $10, I think it is, to ride it, but it's epically gorgeous, and I want to go back again this year. So depending on my summer schedule, that's part of my plan, because I was with a group last year, and I want to stop about 50 more times at all the viewpoints and get more pictures because it was epic.
So, Rob, how big is that tide? How many feet is it?
50.
It's a 50-foot tide. Yeah, it's pretty big. Pretty big.
Our daughter was there about a month ago.
You were what?
Our daughter was there about a month ago.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I've seen those tides, and you cannot believe that it would be that much water coming into that Bay of Fundy. How about you, Dave? What was your best destination ride or you've done this year? And or if you want, yeah.
Bike's still in pieces right now. Still waiting for some parts to come in from Legend Shocks. So,
but you were at the bike show, and you could talk a bit about that.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I can. So the parts for the shocks are supposed to be here tomorrow by UPS, but for when we're riding. Last year we did. Lori and I did a 7-day trip throughout Southwest Ontario. Hooked up with Wayne for a nice dinner. He showed us around a little bit, but yeah, looking forward to it. Our first big trip is a week. We're going down to Americade, and we'll be trailering the bikes down to Americade and really looking forward to that.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So Paul.
Yeah.
How many hits does that Fox video have?
To be honest, I don't know. I hand on heart, I actually don't look at that sort of stuff that much. It's had a few. That was crazy how that happened. That was I couldn't believe it, to be honhonest.
So for anybody that doesn't know what we're talking about, during the fires down there, Paul was out on his bike and had a fox come up and basically asked for a drink of water, I guess.
Yeah. It was
a lot of the animals in the bush were doing that, koalas and everything. Yeah. People were just giving them water out of the bottle.
Yeah.
Just all the trees were burnt. It was horrible.
Wow.
Yeah.
We lost a lot of animals in the bushfire.
Yeah. So to give you an idea, I'll tell you how bad it was. We, not long after the fires went through, we did a forward drive trip through that area.
Yeah.
And I've never experienced it before in my life. There was not a bird sound, a bug, a fly, a mosquito. There was just nothing. It was just completely dead. I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah, we had similar experience in Northern Ontario up by Timmins. The forest fires that come right through, and yeah, you're right. I mean, it looks like the moon, very desolate.
Yeah. There's just I couldn't believe it. There's just nothing. I've never. Now, one thing, if you know anything about Australia, I mean, this is called the national salute, because you're just constantly shooing flies away because they're just everywhere, right? I've never ever experienced where I haven't had to do that out in the bush. It's just it was crazy.
Now, does your government do anything for reforestation?
No. So the way eucalypts work is they actually they regenerate. So literally 3 to 4 months after those fires went through, you see green coming out again. So they actually just regenerate. They lost a lot of trees, but it's just that they drop their seeds and they just start growing again. That's the beauty about the Australian bush.
The fires will actually, some trees, the fire actually germinates them.
That's exactly right.
Them grow faster.
Right.
The heat will just cook the seed and it pops open.
So for centuries, the Aboriginals had done it. They potentially light fires and let it go slowly through the bush. Obviously not, when it's blowing at 40 knots, but they intentionally light fires and let it go through, and everything regenerates, and back it comes again. It's and it makes it easier for them to hunt because it clears all the ground litter off.
Right. Right.
So the one thing that we tend to do here, Paul, is sometimes we do speed round questions, just quick answers, and I've got a few of them here. I'm going to start with you, and of course, the question that I always ask: best ice cream flavor, best ice cream shop.
Okay, that's easy. Best ice cream flavor for me is chocolate. I love chocolate. And the best ice cream shop is Sprinkles Ice Creamery here in, it's about 3 k's from our place.
All right.
Unfortunately, yeah.
And I always go to this. There's the pinkest. I don't even know what it's called, but we call it the pinkest ice cream shop in the world. And it's in the Harrison, in the next town over, and it's the whole ice cream shop is all pink. And I just, they give me such a hard time when we go there. The group that I ride with locally here. How about you, Wayne? What is the best ice cream flavor and the best ice cream shop?
I'll agree with Paul. It's chocolate.
Oh.
It's always been chocolate. And best. Okay, so toss up locally for me, Hewitt's Dairy Bar near Hagersville, or the one in Port Rowan. There's a little place there that's pretty nice too.
Oh, I've been there before too.
Yeah.
How about you, Rob?
So the best flavor first, I'm a butterscotch ripple, or if I can't get that, maple walnut.
Both good choices.
The best place that I think I've actually emailed Craig and suggested he check out is a little hole in the wall that I can't go past in Boston Bar, British Columbia. There's a little seasonal ice cream shop just on the side of the Trans-Canada Highway. That's my favorite. Gotta have it stop. And I haven't found one here in Nova Scotia yet, but I'm still looking.
What I did like when I was out east was the Cow's ice cream. That's good ice cream.
Cow's is good. Predominant. It's starting to get out here a bit more in other provinces, but it was only big in PEI for the most part. It's sort of spreading out from PEI. We're supposed to have one down the street this year, so I will be checking it out when it opens.
And I think I can guess, Dave.
I don't like ice cream. I don't eat ice cream. I've never had ice cream before.
Like butter tarts. I know.
No. So
the
for
lies and the
I know he lies. For me, Kawartha Dairy. So any ice cream shop that serves Kawartha Dairy ice cream is where I'm headed, and I know a bunch of them around here. And my favorite one is Moose Tracks, which is a type of vanilla with chocolate chips in them, but they don't call them chocolate chips. They call it Moose Tracks. Yes, but I do like ice cream.
All right, Paul, Wayne, what would you consider is a common theme in your videos?
Eating.
Yeah. How about you, Wayne? What is yours? What's your common theme in your videos?
Coming upon strange wildlife while riding. I think.
Yeah.
And sneaking up on co-moto vloggers.
Yes, you've done both those things. He's had a. Would you believe he had a mouse land on his wife?
Yeah, it was. We got bombed by a mouse, by a hawk.
No,
we had bats in one of the places we stayed at once.
Bats?
Yeah.
That'd be it for me. I'd be finding another place for her right then.
Yeah. Now I thought for sure Wayne was going to say multiple cameras.
Yeah. That would have been good too.
Not today, and I couldn't only get one to work at one time today. I was having a little frustration problem there today.
See, you're just like the rest of them now. No more of
First
these.
time out, every time you got to learn how to get them rolling again.
Okay, Dave, how about you?
Country roads.
Country roads?
Yeah, I love just touring around the country roads.
And Rob, what's your common theme in your videos?
I'm trying to make it charity events and nonprofit promotion.
Yeah, you know what? And I think as much as you tried, like I know even myself, you try and doing different things all the time, but when I don't mention ice cream in a video, I get harassed. So I have to try and do it. I'm my own victim of my own success. What's been the best part of being on YouTube, would you say?
Meeting the people, meeting heaps of people.
Yeah.
Forming friendships. For me, that we never thought that it was ever going to be like that. Like literally, we have met so many fantastic people who are now really good friends.
Yeah.
From all over the country. It's crazy. Yeah. I cannot believe it. It's just fantastic.
Yeah, these three here, same things happened here. So I feel like I've made some pretty good friends here, and we've done some riding together. We were supposed to do some riding with Rob, but the COVID had other ideas. So we're hoping maybe this year, but we'll see. We're in a wait.
Yeah, looking forward to it this year. Yep.
Yeah. And how about you? Who have I missed? Wayne.
Me. Yeah, so that's it. The friendships and stuff. That like I met Toby Northern yesterday morning. Like salt of the earth, man. Like just an incredible person, and he came over to visit us. We went for breakfast. He just grabbed the tab on me, Dave. I didn't get to pay for his breakfast.
I would have arm wrestled him. I would have lost, but I still would have arm wrestled him.
No, he was. But what
that's really nice.
Just another person to put in the friend bucket. Just awesome. You just meet these people and you just go like, why do they all so good? Like it's incredible.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
That was the ice cream comment there.
Is that what that was?
Jody was calling me out.
She was calling you out, giving you a hard time?
Yes.
That's what they do here. We have a pretty regular crew who come along every week, so it's kind of fun.
Someone has to hand out shit and abuse.
So everybody's gone. Okay, we've done that one. How about this one? What do you love the most about the bike you have now?
That it fits me.
Yeah, it's comfortable.
It's comfortable. That's good. I would say I like the color of mine. I really don't see very many that are the color of mine, and I like that. I think it's the thing I like the most about my bike. I love the bike, but I just love what color it is. How are you, Wayne?
I like the way it looks, but the number one thing I like, and it actually happened as we were leaving the campsite here today to go for our ride.
Yeah.
People walk up to you and go, as they're walking across the distance coming towards you, there's talking about how they love the look of the bike, right? So it's an eye catcher, and we're proud of it. So it's
Just you should be.
Now yours, Kevin, for everybody that doesn't know Kevin's bike, it has a dark blue stripe down the center of a white bike. Now in Ontario, all the police bikes have the exact same paint scheme, only with a black stripe. So in the distance, when Kevin's coming down the road, you see a lot of brake lights and diving headlights because they think he's an OPP.
When I go down the big major highways and I get in the far left lane, well, for you, the far right lane, but they're all moving over.
Yeah.
Okay, Dave, what do you love the most about the bike you have right now?
Fits like a glove.
It's like a glove, and that's, you know what? There's something to be said about that.
That's what I like about it. Don't need to sit on anybody else's bike. Just really happy with mine.
Yeah, and that's great.
Yeah.
And how about you, Rob?
So, like as I said, I have the Orphan Victory now, and what I like about it is it's not weighed down by so many computers and technology. It's a very basic bike
Yeah.
with cruise control and a stereo.
Yeah,
And
that's
it
perfect.
doesn't have a big plasma panel, anything like that. It's just simple, and it fits me nice, and that's what I love about it.
You know what? I think the bike you love is the one you have right now.
Well, there's that too, yeah. That's what I like about the one I have right now, and I don't want to get rid of it.
So we've talked a little bit about being locked down and such, and all that sort of stuff. And I know this last couple of years with all the stuff that has gone on, you know, with governments and all this other stuff. But what would you say? We're doing YouTube and we're trying to do all this stuff and in these conditions. What's the one thing the last 2 years have taught you?
Don't believe everything you hear.
Don't believe everything you hear. Okay.
Make your own informed decisions.
Make your own informed decisions. I think for me, it's been how much I truly appreciate my friends, and when you're having a tough go, how they help you out. And I think this last couple of years has been really, really hard to not see friends and family and go through all this stuff. It's only been, I'm going to say, in the last week that we've actually started doing anything. And like today, Monica and I, we took a drive in the car, went to a small town not far from here, went out for lunch, and then came back. We haven't done anything like that in 2 years.
Wow.
So just being able to do that, and even that being said, we still took takeout. Oh, you Wayne?
You know, the funniest thing I saw lately was going across the border to the U.S. this time, and they didn't ask any COVID questions. The only thing they asked was if we had lemons and or limes.
Yeah.
So that was the big problem of the day. So
I think Vladimir Putin has single-handedly gotten rid of COVID.
I think so. Well, yeah, I think so.
Unfortunately, in a way.
So what about you, Dave? What's the last 2 years have taught you?
You know what? Just to make the most out of the time. You know, being retired, it would have been easy just to sit in a chair and watch TV and get wrapped up in everything. Instead, started eating a little bit more healthy, being active, going for walks, going for long walks. I live in a small town, so, close to a lake. So dog and I constantly walking, working on things. That YouTube was a big thing, being able to, work on some videos and relationships and that. So, you know what? If anything, COVID has taught me to make the most out of my time.
Yeah, it's been difficult for all of us, for sure. How about you, Rob? What's
So
last?
my biggest takeaway the last 2 years has been things that we thought were important that we discover aren't, and the things that we didn't think were important that are.
Yeah.
I find there's been a good perspective change in a lot of people. I'm one of them, and I actually am happy for how my perspective has changed on priorities and importance.
Yeah. To go along with that, I can't believe how much we used to go out and eat, and we've been, happily forced to eat at home more. And, the dining room table used to throw things on the dining room table. Not anymore. With plates go on that. We sit down, we have our meals at the dining room table. A lot more family time too.
Yeah, I think sometimes we forget, when we're not doing all that sort of thing, that we have all this stuff at home. The last speed round question I've got is something you would always take with you on a ride, no matter what. And I'm going to throw that one at you, Paul. And water. That's a good one.
A puncture repair kit.
Oh, a puncture repair kit.
Yep.
Okay.
And wet weather gear.
Yeah, I always have my rain suit, a couple of different pairs of glasses for when it gets darker. And
Yeah, I got that too. Yeah.
Get Pete's comment.
Yeah, I was just seeing that.
hold on, let me see it. I didn't see it. Funny.
Isn't that just standard equipment?
Is what?
Isn't that just standard equipment?
Bonnie's his wife. She rides another CVO right beside him all the time. So.
Yeah. So I always make sure I have extra clothes. That's something that's always important. How about you, Wayne?
I go along with Paul, like the tire repair.
Line, please.
Yeah, later.
Somebody's holding the glass behind you.
This is important.
Okay, I'll get you in a second.
Hi, Linda.
Hi, Linda. Say hi. Goodbye.
Hi,
Hi, Linda.
Linda.
Hey, Linda.
Apparently, I'm needed in the other room for
All right.
phone service. Yeah, the tire repair, compressor to fill it back up if it does leak. I also have the little jump start pack as well. I keep that.
Well, that's a good thing to have too, I think.
Yeah, there's a few times, you get the Harley a little bit hot and sometimes they don't want to crank. You could run into trouble, but there's a lot of compression there.
Yeah.
Other than that, that's pretty much, we feel safe. Rain gear as well. Yeah.
And okay, but where did I leave? Oh, Rob.
So I don't carry like a tire puncture kit. I have a CAA card, but for me, my must-have is a spare pair of gloves and an extra bandana.
Yeah,
I will always have those.
those are all good things. So I've gotten through all of my questions. If anybody in the side chat, or if anybody in the panel has questions for Paul and now's the time.
Far away.
So this big epic trip that you're going on, you said 4 months?
3 weeks.
No, it's 6,000 Ks.
Okay.
And we'll do it in 3 weeks.
Oh, okay.
So what we're doing is we're going.
Is this going to be like the $1 Million Bogan and through the mud? And...
We're listen. He copies us.
Yeah.
We're the $2 bogans.
Yeah. $1.50 bogans. So what we're doing is we're going up through the outback. So we're going from here up. So if you imagine Victoria is, so Australia, the way Australia's shaped. So we're going from the bottom, going sort of diagonally up into the outback. Then we're going up, straight up through New South Wales, Western Queensland, right into the outback, like where, I don't know if you ever watch Outback Opal Hunters or any of those sort of things. That it's right up through there. Mm-hmm. Now, those places out there, that is like real Australia. You're talking, wild camels, wild horses, wild goats, pigs, millions of kangaroos, millions of emus, dingoes, all that sort of stuff up there. So it's really, really the outback. Mm-hmm. And we go to all those real good outback pubs. Do you have all the bathrooms mapped out for this big trip?
Obviously, you guys stay in like.
We get across to the coast and come back down the coast.
Obviously, you guys stay mostly motels. So,
yep.
How frequent are those down through that?
Not very
area?
Frequent. Even fuel stations aren't very frequent. So we've
actually. What's your daily mileage then?
So how many Ks we'll do a day?
Yeah.
Yeah, about 500. Some days we'll do a 700K day.
Right.
Wow, that's a hard day. 700.
Yeah, that's a good run.
Yeah. But the longest we've done, I think, was 11 hours.
Yeah.
So
it's a fair day.
About the bathrooms.
Yeah. So So Purple on Three's asked a question.
Everybody's frozen.
We had an incident, a jam-packed trip a couple of weeks ago where
I ate too much food.
yeah, Elaine ate something that didn't
everybody there?
quite agree with her. And on the morning we were supposed to do a kids' toy run. She was a no-show because of there was a problem in the bathroom area, and we're trying to figure out how the hell we're going to get home because so what we had to do, Elaine got an app on her phone which has got the location of every toilet
Maps out all the toilets.
basically in the world. So we planned our, like we said, it was the shittiest trip of all time. We planned our trip by toilet stops, and it was not a good
And
fun.
Paul filmed me.
And I filmed her the whole way because I thought, you know what, you're going to ruin my day. I'm going to ruin your trip.
That was funny.
So that became on a YouTube show.
Yeah, that became a YouTube show.
Yeah. It's funny. Any other questions for our guest?
Fire away, guys.
Paul, when you take this vacation on the bike, is it all hotels, motels, or do you camp?
No, we don't camp. It's all hotels, motels. It's hard to camp. Look, Australia. Once you get in the outback, it's not the greatest place in the world to be camping because it's literally, it gets hot. So we'll be staying at country pubs, motels, farm stays, Airbnb, that sort of stuff as much as we can. There's also, because there's another couple coming with us as well.
Okay. Do you plan your accommodations all the way through, or do you just kind of go by the seat of your pants?
We go by the seat of our pants. That's what makes it fun.
Right.
We literally do not plan. I basically point the bike in a certain direction, and we just see how we go.
Yeah.
And look, to be honest, the reason we do that is if something cocks up, that makes great video content. That's why. That's why. We do everything like that. We honestly don't plan it. And funnily enough, we've never actually missed out on accommodation. Like we always sort of seem to get it.
If it's not where we're heading, it's not far away.
Yeah. Does the heat prevent you from riding in Australia? There's just another thing come up here. No, it doesn't.
It gets very hot, but
it gets very, very hot. And I don't know if you've watched the latest $1 Million Bogan trip. He's just gone through Alice Springs up to a place called Tennant Creek. And they're riding through 43-degree heat. The hottest I've ridden in was 47 degrees Celsius.
Wow.
And let me tell you, it was horrendous. Like you literally cook in your helmet. It's shocking.
So what's the humidity like in that area? Like
here in Canada, zero humidity.
Okay, so very dry. Because here in Canada, we actually have, I've been to the 4% humidity all the time in Canada, and then we'll also have like very humid places like where I am now in Halifax. So humidity makes such a huge difference as well. Also, being military, I had a tour in Afghanistan where you get 47-degree heat and no humidity. So you don't sweat, you just dry.
Yeah, well, and that's the problem. So you don't get cool. Like if you go to North Queensland, it's hot. Like you could be in 37-degree heat, and you wouldn't. You're up sort of close to there, so you get 37-degree heat, but you've got 90% humidity, so you're just sweating buckets. But it sort of cools you down. But you go. So we've got a thing called the Great Dividing Range. So on the if you're looking at a map of Australia, on the left-hand side of the Great Dividing Range is desert, and on the right-hand side is the coast and all the green fringe. Once you get into that middle area, all the heat comes from the middle of the desert of Australia. So you're getting, sometimes we might get 50, 60 kilometre-hour winds blowing heat from the desert. It's just it's like being in a furnace. It just burns you. Look, that's part of it. It doesn't stop you from riding though. You just got to make sure you're really well hydrated.
Plan accordingly, or you're just not going to enjoy life.
No, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And you can get heat stroke really, really quickly. Like you can get
Mhm.
really sick from it, dizzy, pretty
Doesn't
quick. So
take long. It doesn't
No.
take
no,
long
not
at
at all.
all. No.
Not at all.
You
You
can
get,
go
talking
from
like
very
40,
good to
45
very
minutes.
bad very, very quickly.
Yeah.
Correct. And like every year, we have people here that go to the outback and they die out there just for being ill prepared, not taking enough water, not taking enough fuel, just not prepared, and they die,
Mhm.
unfortunately.
Not good. Not good. On that cheery note. You know, if anyone else has any questions for the Harley Roadshow or anybody on the panel,
I've got a question.
yeah,
So when the snow comes,
yeah.
how long are you not able to ride for? Like, is it for 3 months, 4 months, 5 months?
Yes.
Yeah, could be all of
All
the
of the
above.
above.
Yeah.
November to end of March.
Yeah.
Depends on where you are in Canada.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it
And
depends
my next
on
question
whether
is,
you
how
are.
they put?
It depends
Sorry,
on
how
whether
they
you're
put?
willing to ride your bike while there's still salt or the brines on the roads.
Yeah.
That was my
Because-
next question. With all the
Yeah.
salt they tuck on the roads, does it
Yeah.
destroy your cars and your motorbikes as well?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Well, not the bikes because we don't ride.
I
Yeah.
took my bike out a couple of weeks ago. We had one warm day. It got up to 17 degrees, and I went out for a 30-minute ride. And when I came back home, I had to wash the whole bike down because it had salt all over.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
How was the exhaust, Kev?
It sounded beautiful.
There we go.
Beautiful. It worked great. Absolutely great.
Another fine repair.
Yes. Thank
Another
you.
happy customer.
Yes. These guys came and helped me. We were at. I felt bad. I didn't get back to talk to Dave very much when we were at the show. It was
Yeah, I missed you, but then I had to go for lunch, so I don't know if you doubled back.
well. The problem, the big bike show that they have in Toronto every year is one of the. I think it's like the biggest bike show in Canada. And it's 5 great big giant halls normally, and because of COVID, it has been canceled for the last 2 years, and then this year they canceled it but moved it back, and so we just had it this weekend, and it was 2 halls smaller than it normally is, and but just as many people showed up, I think, because it seemed like you were kind of squished walking through there. And
That was Saturday, Kev. Friday and Sunday, the crowds was about 50% less.
Oh, is
Really?
that right?
Yeah.
I found it was very, very crowded in there, and I was just as happy to get out when we were done. You couldn't move around very well, and I couldn't find things like I normally could because there were the halls were not laid out like it normally would be.
You know what? It actually it was pretty close the way they have laid it out before. Hall 2 or Hall 3 was normally the vintage bikes. It was still vintage bikes. The Hall 4 had the custom bikes, so they kind of switched that from Hall 5 to Hall 4. And then Hall 2, normally the one section has the food, and then it starts with the dealers, then spreads out from there.
There wasn't very many dealers there.
No. It's funny because we had a booth there, and a guy comes up and he says, "There's no Hondas, there's no Suzukis or Kawasaki's here. Where are they all?" So
A container in the ocean.
Yeah. There were 3 Harley Davidson dealers, and then there was, I think, 4 used Harley Davidson dealers.
Yeah, there seemed to be a real absence of Japanese bikes this year.
Yeah.
And I like looking at them, like there was some
So,
really nice bikes.
Paul,
Yeah.
are you seeing that everything's opened up for you guys as well on the bike
Yeah,
shows?
we're fully
that?
open now. Everything's
Yeah, yeah.
open
Except for WA.
except for WA, because like the guy who runs WA is a complete moron. But other than that, everything else is opened up. No more masks.
Yeah, we're just about basic.
Basically back to normal. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
I think it got to the point we were locked down for so long, in Victoria especially, that everybody just got jack of it in the end, and pretty much took it into their own hands and said, you know what, this is crazy. Like when we all, when Omicron came through, basically everybody got it really quickly, and nobody really got sick, and everybody started thinking, well, hang on a minute, we've been so scared of lockdowns. Every in the end said, you know what, bugger this for a joke. We're just going to start getting on with life. And I think they had to really, because we were getting protests here with it was literally 300,000 people in the street saying, no more. This is, and you can't just say that they were all, left, sort of right wing loonies. It was just normal people. Just got jack of it. But
yeah, COVID fatigue is what I've heard it called. That makes sense.
The upside now, though, is that it looks like we're kind of going in a direction and we're able to get out, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Yeah. It's just not good, especially for kids. It's not good seeing kids locked up like that. It's just.
And we didn't have nowhere near as many deaths as the US. And
No. Look, everybody took it fairly seriously, which I think Canada did the same thing.
We did,
but it just gets to a point where you go, hang on, we understand what we got to do. Enough is enough. If you use common sense and you wear a mask, especially if you're crook or there's something wrong with you, be sensible about it. But at the end of the day, you have to get on with life, unfortunately. And a lot of these people that are dying with COVID would if they got sick with the flu or with gastro or with any other thing, they're probably going to die as well. Which is unfortunately that's just the way life is. I mean, my father's one of them. My dad's very frail. He's had cancer. And I've been really careful with him. But even he said, Paul, what I'm going to do, just sit here and just wait till wait till I cark it. He goes, he still goes out and plays his bocce. He still goes out to the club that he goes to speak to people. What's the point? You need to live.
Yeah.
So what are your plans for your channel going forward? What do you got?
Us?
Yeah.
So I'll put it back to you guys. What would you like us to do? And that goes to the people in the side chat. What do you want to see? Do you want to see what we've been doing? The hardest thing I've found with YouTube is to get traction.
yeah.
Traction is like you can do all the great videography and the great storyline, but if you can't get it out to people, it just won't get traction. Now we've got a really loyal following, and I'm really happy with it. I think we just ticked over 1,700 subscribers, but it's not the subscribers that you got to worry about. It's the people watching. It's if you want to grow the channel, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And we want to grow the channel, and the reason I want to grow the channel is because I want to be able to make a difference to people's lives in the country areas. That's what we want to do. So I guess we're going to do more traveling, go to more places, try and make it as interesting as possible.
Eat more.
Eat more. And the one thing I've noticed about YouTube is it's not about the equipment you use. It's not about the editing software you use. It's not about what you ride. It is 110% about your personality and how you connect with the people, and B, the story.
Yeah.
Everybody wants a story, right? Because if that wasn't the case, there's guys out there. We could do that. There's some guys out there. Like there's a guy called Harold Balder. I don't know if he's a travel vlogger. Okay, the worst production you've ever seen, the crappiest camera you've ever seen, the worst audio you probably hear. Yet he's got 3 million subscribers and gets 2 million views a time because everything he does has a story. Every place he goes to, and he'll do things like he calls it Harold Investigates. He'll be in like I don't know some town in the middle of nowhere in Thailand, and he'll just walk into somebody's house and just start looking around and saying, "Do you mind?" And most people are really inviting. And the thing that we've found, and I advise this to anybody, is if you talk to people, they will generally tell you about themselves. People love to tell you about themselves. So I guess what we want to do is this: two things. I'd love to do a podcast where, and it'll be called Stories on the Road, and what it'll be will be just talking to people about how, and it doesn't have to be about motorbikes. It's just their life, what's happened, because there's so many interesting stories out there that just don't get out. I'd love to do that, but and the same with the channel. Just more stories, and just get. I want to try and get people to experience through YouTube what Australia is like and how much of a fun place it is. And it's dangerous, and it's beautiful, and it's rugged, and it's vast, and it's all those things. And I guess if we can somehow make you guys enthusiastic to want to see that, that's what I think our job is to do. And like I say, anybody that's there that would love, I would love you to come to Australia, and we would love to show you around.
Definitely.
It's such. And look, don't get me wrong, I'm being parochial here because I'm obviously from here, but I mean, Canada's a beautiful spot, and then the States is a beautiful spot, and we want to go there as well. But something fun. This fun Chuck has just said we'd love to see motorcycle
from Harley's Diners, Rides,
shops, meetups, bike nights, and see the difference from here to there. We will do all that stuff as well, and we're starting to do that too. I've just been in contact with a couple who run motorcycle rallies, events, and things all to do with motorcycles. So we're going to link up with them, and we're going to do that sort of stuff, and we'll bring in more of that. But I would love people to send me suggestions. Sorry if I'm rambling here, but it's great that people watch, but you get the same, say 40 or 50 people will comment, "Great video, Paul. Oh, love the video, Paul. Yeah, I appreciate that, but I would rather as a constructive criticism say, why don't you go here, or why don't you do that, or we would love to see this." That's what we want, because I'm big enough and ugly enough to cop criticism. It doesn't worry me. I would much rather that than just fluff, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's every YouTuber's challenge, I think, is finding that content that resonates with people.
Yep.
And has that hook, what do people want to see? And that's our biggest question forever.
Yeah. And you never seem to know what the rhyme or reason is. Like, some of my best videos are the simplest ones.
Yes.
Yep. 100%. Some of them, I'll put out a rubbish video and everybody watches it, and I'll put another one out where I feel like I'm Steven Spielberg and nobody watches it. It's like, what the hell?
I know. Yeah, the same thing is happening.
I watch them all. So
there you go. Well, on that note, I'm going to say thank you very much to everyone on the side chat who has come along, and thank you so much, Paul and Eileen, for coming along on the show today. It's been to actually talk to you, and the whole panel, having people from I got down south and out east. It's great, and the other side of Ontario there, well, an hour away from me. And I just sincerely want to thank everybody in the side who contributed tonight and stopped by, and we look forward to watching your videos, Paul. And I'd say I pretty much watch all of them. I don't always comment, but I always watch them. So
Appreciate it.
Next time I wave, I'll be waving to you.
Okay, I like the wave. I always wave.
And that what I said before about if you ever want to come to Australia, if you want any advice or ideas of where to go, by all means, just shoot. We're on Instagram and on Facebook. Shoot me a message. I'm more than happy to answer people's questions. Honestly, I've got no problem with it. Like, I love to try and help people as much as possible. So it's an open invitation.
Good. Thanks, Paul.
So
Yeah,
anyway, with that, I'm going to say goodnight to everyone. And if you guys would just stay on just for a couple of seconds afterwards in the green room, that would be great.
Yeah. Whose house is it? Wayne, are you up next week?
yeah, I'll be home. Yep, I can do it.
Okay.
All right, then. So
I'll think of something.
we'll be at Wayne's house next week. And thank you, everybody, for coming out. And we will see you next week.
Thanks,
you.
everyone.
See
Thanks,
ya.
everybody.